I'm going to explain to you who the Illuminati are and what the Illuminati card game is, because I made another video but there was too much information in it, so I will keep it a little bit simpler this time. In 1776 the Illuminati were founded by Adam Weishaupt, but nothing really became of it until 9/11 happened. And some people with a brain, they thought, well, it's too much of a coincidence that in this card game is everything that happened on 9/11, the big things, and this game was made in 1995. That's too much of a coincidence. But other people kept saying coincidence, their love word, and some even laughed it away. But it's very stupid considering all the other cards that are in the game. For example, the NSA, Al Gore with his global warming scam, the gay activists that you hear so much about today. And it cannot be that in 1995 somebody put all this in a game and they didn't know about what was going to happen. That was just a coincidence. That's impossible. Because also Obama is in the game as president, but also as the head of the Sphinx with the Pyramid of Gizeh, and also as the Black Hands wanting to take the guns of the American people, gun control. This cannot all be a coincidence. Even the Aurora shooting that was meant to get the gun law of Obama through Congress was in the card game. Here's the theater, and here are some lines, and here the lines come back. And this cannot be a coincidence that all these things are in the card game. Only conclusion can be that there is a group of people that is doing things in real life and made the card game. By logic, they have to be one and the same. For some reason, they want to put the actions in the game, but that's very strange. I agree, but I will explain that later too. So, let's start with who made the card game. We can start with how people know the Illuminati these days. Known mostly from all these artists, singers making the pyramid sign, the all-seeing eye, a lot of references to Egypt, Miley with the tongue, and some Bible references in videos. And you can see all these, it's even in the dollar, but all these stars with the Pyramid of Gizeh sign, and it's in a TV series, and even the real pyramid comes back. And Lady Gaga does it a lot. Also the sixth sign of the devil, the all-seeing eye, the pyramid. And on ground zero there's a ritual. Soldiers had to symbolize the all-seeing eye. Rihanna does it. It's a video games. Paul McCartney even did it. This Merkel from Germany does it. And Justin Bieber, Madonna, Lady Gaga, she does it a lot. All these people, Katy Perry, she does the six signs, and she has this MTV award performance with the hell and the devils and some black horse. It's from the Bible with the apocalypse, and she does these Egyptian things they like so much with the all-seeing eye. And it keeps coming back with the Kardashians, the Pyramid of Gizeh symbolic, and the all-seeing eye, just like in the dollar. And Bob, the all-seeing eye, and Bob represents the devil. All these other stars, and they keep making these signs and these signs and these signs everywhere. Cannot be a coincidence. There's even on the New Year party in Sydney in Australia, they put it very big on this bridge. It's very scary, and with concerts, the six and the pyramid, all things is everywhere. Lady Gaga in Paris with the pyramid, and the Freemasons, black and white, and Miley Cyrus with the tongue, and the all-seeing eye, and the tongue. This symbolizes some evil Hindu god. That's what, and this is also with the Rolling Stones. Maybe you remember this band. So, the men behind the scenes, the producers and financiers of all these people are all Jewish. That's the connection. Look at the names of producers: Feinstein, Goldstein, Stanowitz, Stakov, Blentov, from Russian descent, Jews. And this is confirmed by Miley Cyrus. She said in the interview, with magazines, with movies, with all these media things, because the Jews control 90% of our media, it's always weird when things are targeted for young people, yet they're driven by people that are like 40 years too old. It can be like this 70-year-old Jewish man that doesn't leave his desk all day telling me what the clubs want to hear. Well, this is how it goes in real life, because the Jews, they control all these people, all these stars, and they tell them what to do. And what's in the Illuminati card game? It has to come back, of course, and it does the recording industry, benefit concerts to steal your money, you think you're helping people, MTV, it all comes back. So immediately things are pointing to the Jews. Is that the right direction, or is it a false track? Let's do some research. First big thing in the card game is, of course, 9/11. So who did 9/11? If we know that, we know a lot about who made the card game. Well, 9/11 was done by the Jews. And they had these truck bombs driving around with these twin towers and a plane flying in. This is real. It's in official reports. You can look it up. Put it on pause, read it. It's from official report. And the Israeli Jews that were driving around with these truck bombs, they were freed by dual citizenship Israeli Jew Chertov, put on a plane to Israel. That's America today. And there were also Jews filming the Twin Towers with official film equipment of professional film equipment before the first plane hit. And they were cheering when the first plane flew into it. They were arrested and they were freed by Chertov, of course. And one of them was on a talk show in Israel, and he chose his words very carefully, but when he spoke, he said, "We were only there to film the event." So they knew everything in advance. Of course, they planned the whole thing. And here's Chertov as a spokesman for the government on 9/11. I mean, can you believe that? And he said, I quote, "We must forbid that anybody can speculate that the government had anything to do with 9/11. Just like we should forbid that anybody speculates that the Holocaust is not real." So, if the government did it, well, and they had a lot to do with it, of course you should be able to speak about it. But he does not want it. He doesn't want the truth to be out. He also doesn't want the truth to be out about the Holocaust. Study it, please. And what's in the card game? Censorship. You are censored because then the truth cannot come out and they can later take over and kill you. And here we have a Danish professor. He went through the rubble of the Twin Towers and he found nanothermite. And it's an explosive. It's normally not in a building. He says molten metal pours out of the South Tower. Talk about tons, 10 tons, 100 tons. Are you sure it's in there? Of course, you cannot fudge this kind of science. It's there or it's not there. And it was there. And he's a professor in chemistry. I mean, he should know. So, with 9/11, you don't need to watch a long documentary about all the technical details of 9/11. You just have to understand the few big things that really mattered that day. And that's how the Jews think. And you should learn from them. Can we find more hints about the Jews being involved with the Illuminati card game? Yes. Because the end goal of the Illuminati card game is to take over the world and realize the new world order. It says so on a lot of cards. New world order. And it comes back with the Jews because the Bolshevist revolution in Russia, this was a revolution in 1917. I don't know if you know about it. You should know a little bit about it. Bolshevism, this was the first name of communism. So the communist revolution in Russia in 1917 was the work of Jewish brains, Jewish dissatisfaction, Jewish planning, whose goal is to create a new order in the world. The new world order, of course. What was performed in an excellent way in Russia shall become a reality all over the world. The American Hebrew, September 10, 1920. So they want a new world order and they want to repeat what happened in Russia. So what happened in Russia? Well, about 75 million people were murdered by the Jews. And Karl Marx, you know him of course, he invented the communism and his real name was Moses Levi Mordecai. He was a Jew. Trotsky was a Jew, Lev Davidovich Bronstein. Then there was a quarter Jewish, and when you had the first communist government, 556, you had 556 high people in the government, and 457 of them were Jews. And the Russian general, he went through the archives. We come to that in a minute. These are some pictures of the Jews that were involved in the first Russian government. And a Russian general, a real Russian, he went through the archives and he found out that the list of names of Gulag supervisors, he looked at them, and Gulags were the death camps. Then you see that they were all Jews. So all the people on top were Jews, and they killed about 75 million innocent Russians, and of course the streets were filled with corpses. But they also had these death camps, these gulags, and they put innocent people in there and they shot them through the head and they starved them to death. Because if you starve people to death, they will die. I mean, it's very simple, it's very effective. You can get food, you can keep food away from 1 million people and they will die. You can keep it away from 10 people, they will die. I mean, this always works, and that's why they use it. And they are so proud of it. They are evil. You cannot understand, because you've lived in so good conditions, that there still exists evil in this world. Real evil. And this should come back in the card game, of course, and it does. The international communist conspiracy, they want to put this communism everywhere, in America, Europe. Lenin's body, an ode to Lenin, comes back, and Russia comes back. So this is all confirmed. And that communism is a Jewish idea is confirmed by Rabbi Finkelstein in an interview. He admits it. And this interview is real. There was a lawsuit, there was a case in court, but it was about sharing in the proceeds of the interview. It was never about content. You can look it up. This interview is on YouTube, and it's very shocking to people who don't know anything yet. And what they did in Russia, they did also in China, because they put Mao in place, and he was advised by the Jews. They were all around him. Franco, Israel Epstein, Elsevier Shomli, all these people advised Mao, all these Jews. And Mao said, we have to take the guns from the people. So now in America you have Obama surrounded by Jews, and he wants to take your guns. So it's exactly the same setup as in China, because they want to kill you. And here we have an ode to Mao. It comes back in the card game. You see, it cannot be a coincidence, all these things. And how do they control America? How did they control Russia before the revolution? They used the protocols of Zion, brainwash the people, financial plans with their own real money, gold, own the banks, own the media. Well, they own the Fed, the most important bank in America. They own the media, all the big TV stations. And you can put it on pause and see that everything fits with America today. Until, of course, the few last, because they still have to happen. And this is written by the 300 wise elders of Zion. 300 wise elders, the rabbis. And who are in the card game? The elders of Zion and the rabbis. I mean, you cannot keep saying coincidence. This Illuminati card game is a Jewish game. This is the plan on how to take over the world and destroy America. And if that is really true, then these protocols of Zion, they should come back. Well, and they do. Protocol of Zion, financial plans with all your money, gold. And this is in the card game, and it says gold to fuel the plot of the Illuminati. It's one-on-one, it's coming back. Protocol of Zion own the banks, and the Federal Reserve is in there. And who owns the Fed? The Jews. Look at the last presidents. It's Jew, 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 Jew. Protocol of Zion own the media, and they want big media. It's in the Illuminati card game. Because if you have big media, you control what everybody thinks. Because CBS, ABC, etc., they're all putting out this information that they want you to hear and nothing else. And Protocol of Zion endorse democracy. And there's the card, power to the people, because if you endorse democracy, later you can bribe the politicians. Protocol of Zion bribe the politicians. And what's in there? Bribery. And Ronald Reagan. And what happened in real life? Ronald Reagan surrounded by the rabbis. But Bush also, and Obama, and Rand Paul, the son of Ron Paul, with his fake lawsuit against Obama. The Jews are telling him what to do. And this lawsuit, it's just a genius trick of the rabbis control both sides. They control the opposition of Obama and they control Obama. And they just carry on with their plans. You think, oh good, someone is fighting Obama. Good. But he's not fighting Obama. He's just pretending. And he will achieve nothing. Just like his father, Ron Paul. That's the trick. Think about it. Romney and all these people are controlled by the Jews. And this is very important, so it comes back another time with the Democrats and Republicans worshipping the golden calf. Protklov sign exchanged the Bible for materialism, and it comes back. For young children, they are taught to buy. Older people also taught you need more stuff. Protocol sign distracted people with sports and entertainment, controlled by the Jews. Protocol sign make the debt so high that even the interest is impossible to pay. And here goes the money of the American taxpayer, vroom, in a hole. And here goes the debt. So this is all real. There can be no doubt, 100% sure, this is the plan of the Jews on how to take over the world and realize the new world order. Because America is the freest country, it still is, and the biggest country and the most important country. They want to take down America because then the whole world will fall. That's why this card game is used in America. That's the reason. They want the world, and an honest Jew, this is not anti-Semitic, confirmed this already in 1961 in a hotel speech. He said, we had World War I was set up by the Jews, World War II, World War III, the Jews of the world, the Zionists, and they want to permanently retain Palestine as their foothold for their world government. So this is confirmed by a Jew. And other Jews also confirm it. We posed as the saviors of the world, but we are the destroyers. Oscar Levy. Great idea of Judaism. The whole world shall be imbued with Jewish teachings. This is from a Jewish magazine. Bolshevist revolution, you know this, shall become a reality all over the world. And Rabbi Rabinovich, he said we have to mix the white race, mix it with the dark race, and then the white man will disappear and our most dangerous enemy will become only a memory. And then our race will rule undisputed over the world. Our superior intelligence will easily enable us to retain mastery over a world of dark peoples. That's what they want. And then mass immigration started after that. So it's confirmed. It's 100% certain the Jews, part of the Jews, want to take over the world and mass murder the white race. We are in extreme danger, about to be mass murdered. But why would they put their plans in a card game? That's very strange. The standard reaction is, if I were to take over the world, I would not do it. And I agree, that's a rational reaction. But they are not rational, they're also rational, but they also work with the Kabbalah. And in the Kabbalah it says, if you share your evil plans with others, even when they don't understand it, your karma is lifted. So that's it. That's the reason. We don't have to discuss it very long and make long fits about it. It's about this. If you share your evil plans with others, even when they don't understand, your karma is lifted. That's the reason. That's it. And they put the plans in public, but they also put this pyramid everywhere. And they think it gives power to their plans. And this comes back in the Illuminati card game. This is another occult thing they believe in. And that's why you see artists making this sign everywhere, and you see this sign hidden everywhere, and you see it a lot in movies and everywhere, because they think it adds power to their plans. So they work with the occult. But then why in a card game? Well, that's very simple. They are psychological geniuses. They understand us better than we understand ourselves. They understand what moves us, what scares us, what can be used to make us do stupid things. They understand us very well. In the Bible it says, evil is wiser than good, and this is exactly what it means. And this is of course very closely linked to the work of the devil. Turn things around, bribe people, sell your soul to the devil, turn the people against each other, turn poor against rich, turn woman against man, turn the white race country against another white race country. All these things are, it's the work of the devil, whether he's real or not. And this is clearly explained in the card game also, because you have this card, eat the rich. All the rich people that are bribed by them or that work with them, later the rich and the poor, the poor have to be set up against the rich. So all the rich people that think they get a good deal, in the end they will pay. That's also how the devil works, or people who work by the ideas of the devil. And don't forget to smash the state. All these politicians that are bribed and that get all this money, when the revolution comes, it will be directed against the government and against the rich, just like in Russia. It will be exactly the same. And they know us so well, they know that also if they had put their plans like in some sort of official report with main objective, take over the world, sub-objective, control Congress, control the Supreme Court, and the main manager of this goal, and sub-managers, and budget posts, and sources of income. If this made something very official, they put it out there, all these people in high places, people in power, they would have believed it, and they would have understood it. Because they're used to working with these kind of official things. So the rabbis did it in a very strange way with these bomb trucks on 9/11, in the Illuminati card game. So their karma was lifted because they shared their evil plans with us. But people in power could not put their mind around it, that this is all the truth. Just like they expected. Mission accomplished. That's why they made the Illuminati card game and put it in public in such a strange way. Very smart of them, of course. Well, there is still some hope because Congress did not go with Obama's gun law. So what can you do? In general, we should do what the Jews do because it works. And that is going for the top of society. And we cannot bribe them, we should not bribe them, but tell them the truth. That's our weapon. That Congress voted against Obama's gun law should give you some hope. Apparently they are understanding something. Maybe at some level they finally understand that Jews are dangerous, I don't know. Teach them they know just as little about history and the mass murders as you did half an hour ago. And here's a picture of how they do it. The rabbi organization, they target Congress, the top of society. We can do that, but we can do about the same. Concerned people from America and the rest of the world, you can also contact the American Congress. Because if a member of Congress gets 5 emails asking him to wake up, maybe he will go like, I have to think about this, what's going on? If a politician in Italy gets an email, a Norwegian politician gets one, nothing will happen. So America is everything. And in America, Congress is everything. So contact them. And even if you're a child, don't think I'm too young for this. They won't listen to me. I can't write an official letter. It should not be important, of course. On the contrary, any member of Congress would rather answer a child's letter about the subject than that of an adult. I'm sure of that. They are human beings too. Doesn't have to be an official language. Since when do we have to ask not to be killed in perfect grammar? Break free from all the lies and misleading. So I have a suggestion for you. I wrote this letter. It's just a suggestion. You can write whatever you want, but it's under description. You can copy it. And it explains not the Illuminati card game, because maybe they will not like this idea of Illuminati card game, but it explains about Russian Revolution, how it was set up by the Jews, the Chinese, how they controlled China and Mao, and how they get that they own the Fed and the debt is getting really high. All these things are explained. This also explains about the Talmud, what these Talmud rabbis think about us, that it is permitted to take the body and life of a non-Jew, that's something really good. So these are all things Congress has to know. The white race has to know these things. So you can copy it and send it to Congress. Or write your own letter, but do something.